Good afternoon. I am Shakeem Holloway with the Covington News.
And I am Martin Rand with the Rockdale News.
We're here today to talk a little bit about NBA playoffs. So just to start off, before we get into playoffs, we'd also like to talk about the lottery because that was recent Tuesday. As Laker fans, we're both excited that our team got the number 2 pick, obviously. But do you feel bad for the Knicks any?
I didn't know he was going to throw the Knicks out there like that. No, I don't feel bad for the Knicks. They have the number 4 pick, and they have so many holes in their team that they can't go wrong with any pick they choose at that spot. They can, if they miss on this pick, then all hope is lost. Like they can't miss on it. So I don't feel bad. I think that they're going to do a good job. Phil Jackson and Derek Fisher and the rest of that management over there. I feel like they're going to do good. So I just keep my fingers crossed on that one.
Okay, all right. Okay, before we get into NBA playoffs hard, just a quick question: Give me your top 3 prospects for the Lakers at number 2.
Top 3 prospects for Lakers at number 2. Well, even though I don't think it's going to happen, I'm going to put Kentucky center Carl Anthony Towns. I'm going to put him at number 1. I think he plays good on both sides of the ball, and they need that more than anything. I think that was kind of evident last season. People were running up and down the lane on them. They need that. I'm going to put Jahlil Okafor there just because I think they're going to pick him at number 2.
Yeah.
And, I mean, like I said, they need a big man, so they'll probably go with him, even though I think it's kind of redundant given that they picked Julius Randle last year's draft, but I think they're going to pick him.
Yeah.
And number 3, it may be a shock, and I doubt it will happen, but I like Justin Winslow.
Justice Winslow?
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
He showed a lot of heart and a lot of playmaking ability during the NCAA tournament, and I think he reminds me of a Jimmy Butler type.
That's
player.
what I've been saying. I've been saying that.
He
I think
reminds me of
he's a
Jimmy Butler,
type.
and that guy that's going to give you defense and some offense. He's going to have to work on his offense, but just like Jimmy Butler has, I see him blossoming in his career. So I think those three players will probably be the best at number 2.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll do some more lottery stuff later on. But right now, let's kind of get into the playoffs a little bit. Talk about some of the biggest surprises so far. You got 4 teams left. Obviously, the Hawks and Cavs, and you got Warriors and Rockets.
Yes. Well, biggest surprise has to be the Rockets. Just because they made a historic comeback, beating the Clippers. It was a meltdown of tremendous proportions by the Clippers. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
I don't know what needs to be done there because it seems like everything was right for them to win and get to the conference finals for the first time, and it just didn't happen. So I think them being here is probably the biggest surprise, and I think it ends for them here as well.
Yeah.
I don't see them beating Golden State at all. Steph Curry, he's an assassin from the 3, and he's just going to light it up as he did in Game 1. Second surprise will have to be the Hawks being here. I'm sorry.
I agree.
I'm sorry, but the Hawks, I feel like they've overachieved to this point. I feel like they could have lost against Brooklyn, and they probably should have lost to the Wizards if it wasn't for an injury to John Wall. And now that they're here, I feel like LeBron James is going to take this series over like he did last night in Game 1. And sorry to say, but he's probably going to sweep them out of the playoffs right now.
I got Cavs in 5. I'll give the Hawks 1 game. I give them 1 game.
A pity win, man.
I don't think it's a pity win, but I think they'll next game they'll come back, and especially with the DeMar Carroll injury, they're not without his defense and his 3-point shooting ability. Right. It's definitely going to hurt him long term.
And they already lost Cephalosha, their main defensive perimeter guy. So they're done. Okay, let's just put it in. That bird is cooked. Okay, let me just tell you that.
I agree. Bazemore did step up last night. He played big late,
Right.
but of course it still wasn't enough. And I don't expect Bazemore to play like that for 7 games or
And
how many ever they have left, which won't be many.
No, and they're going to plan for him next game
Yeah.
too, just because of that little surge he did to them. And honestly, I think it all came after the injury to Carroll as well.
Yeah.
So I think the Hawks were kind of hyped up on adrenaline from that, and maybe the Cavs felt a little lax because the guy was injured. So they were like, okay, we got this. He's down, and they let up on defense a little bit. I mean, they were up by almost 20 at that point. Yeah. So who would have thought they would have came back like that? You know, I mean, so I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be worse next game. Next game, especially if Carroll doesn't play.
Yeah.
So it ends here for the Hawks. I would love for them to get to the finals. I want to go to a finals game myself, but it ends here.
You've got Hawks losing in a sweep.
Sweep, yes.
And what about the Golden State Rockets game?
Golden State Rockets, like I said, I think Houston should have lost, but just because of the way they came back and beat the Clippers, they showed heart and grit and determination. So I'm going to give them at least 2 games in this series. At least 2. Because they've shown that they can come back and they can play under pressure.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give them 2 games, but it's definitely going to Golden State.
Okay, so basically Golden State in 6, Cleveland in a sweep. So that puts Golden State and Cleveland in the finals.
Cleveland in the finals, that's right.
And what's
NBA
your
gets
prediction?
their wish. My prediction for that's difficult. That's difficult because I want to say Cleveland wins that one. If Kevin Love was playing, I would probably say Cleveland wins that. But since he's not playing, I don't think Cleveland has the depth that Golden State has. And while they have the best player clearly in LeBron James, I would say the next couple of best players belong to Golden State with Steph Curry, the MVP, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Harrison Barnes. He plays huge as well, and I mean Andre Iguodala coming off the bench. I mean they have so many weapons, and Cleveland they just don't have that. I mean J.R. Smith, he's pretty streaky. He lit it up, but he's streaky. Trust me, as a Knicks fan, I know how streaky he is. Okay, I've seen him do what he did against the Hawks, and it comes and goes. Trust me, and they have Kyrie Irving, but he's kind of injured, banged up too. So who knows how he's going to be able to perform in the finals. So I think it'll be Golden State, which is kind of hard to say being a Lakers fan, and I only root for that team in California. But I think Golden State wins that series, probably in 7. Okay. I see it being a long series.
I'm gonna say Golden. I want to say 7, but it's like, can Cleveland take them to 7? Is what I'm asking myself.
Right.
And I feel like they won't. Because I feel like Golden State in 6, and I think it'll be a tough game 6. But Golden State wins in the end by like 3 or 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
The thing is it's the ultimate team ball game versus the team with the best isolation. I mean, every Cleveland game there's isolation,
pretty much.
And they rely on one-on-one. While Golden State we're going to pass the ball and we're going to beat
they pass it more so than Cleveland does. So basically, it's going to be another reenactment of last year's finals, basically. So until like David Blatt, gets some better plays and stops running iso ball like he's Mike Woodson. Why you keep taking digs at the Knicks? Mike Woodson not even there
Mike
no more,
Woodson
man.
also coached the Hawks.
Yeah, he did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I give you that one. I give you that one. Yeah. Yeah.
All right then. So that's what we got for you guys this week. And thanks for watching.